Hello and welcome to the pre-match live show. I'm Vaibhav Tripathi, your host for this particular show. Joining me is Shamik Chakravarti, Snehashish Mukherjee, and Bharat Ramraj has also joined us. Two again, just a second, I'll let him in. Okay, he's gone back. So two important games today. Again, double header Sunday. First one is Chennai Super Kings taking on Gujarat Titans. Both teams have had a scratchy tournament so far. They have shown glimpses of excellence in patches, but overall it has been, not so convincing run until now for both teams. Whether it's Chennai Super Kings or GT, both have lost more games. 4 games each team have lost and only have won 3 games. And they are looking for the consistency. And this is the phase. Like from now, both teams have 7 games left, and from now it is about winning. Otherwise, they will not be able to qualify. When it comes to Chennai Super Kings and Gujarat Titans, both teams have their share of struggles. If you talk about Chennai Super Kings, obviously injuries have continued to hamper their campaign, starting with Nathan Ellis, then Khalil Ahmed, then Ayush Matre. Still no signs of MS Dhoni. We'll talk about it. The big question is obviously, will MS play this game or not? But if you look at GT, they have a middle order muddle, which they haven't been able to solve. They have made changes, but it hasn't come good. And last 2 games have been a result of that. They have lost. So we'll talk about CSK and GT in detail. After that, we'll switch our attention to the evening game, which is obviously the battle between the bottom dwellers, the Lucknow Super Giants and the Kolkata Knight Riders. Again, must win for both teams because one bad game and it's over for either of the team, whether it's Lucknow or Kolkata Knight Riders. Obviously, it's a repeat clash. Last time these two teams met, Snehashish was there. He witnessed a special innings from Mugul Chaudhary, obviously, and we have Bharat sir who interviewed his coach, Mukul Chaudhary's coach. So you can watch that interview as well. It is available. So yeah, we'll start with the big question. Obviously, Shamikda, we broke the news in the morning as well that it is highly unlikely. It's all but MS Dhoni is all but ruled out of this game as well. You wrote a copy as well. Can you give us more details on that?
To start with, Vaibhav, as the players are alighting from the team bus, I didn't see MS Dhoni. I, I don't know whether he will come separately to the ground. That if that is the case, then that's different. But he was not among the players who alighted from the team bus at Chepauk. So you can get a clue. Basically, MS Dhoni has. It is up to him. At the end of the day, it is up to him. And the CSK management has told him that you take your call. Absolutely no pressure, nothing. And MS Dhoni, yesterday at the pre-match press conference, Stephen Fleming, the head coach, said he's on the road to recovery and he is progressing well. And he has been doing everything that has been asked for by the team's physio and the physical conditioning team. And he has been training at the nets, which we have reported. But what we have gathered and we have reported that he has all but ruled himself out. One is that there is maybe there is a slight hindrance in terms of running between the wickets because it's a calf injury. It could be one factor. Another factor is that maybe he is already 99% fit, but doesn't want to upset the apple cart because last game CSK they secured a statement win over MI, and it could be the turning point of their season. And Sanju has settled himself nicely as the team's number one wicketkeeper batsman. And he is basically the team's new talisman. I bumped into an Amul ad this morning, and it is Chennai Sanju Kings, Amul. And Amul is always known for coming up with those cheeky ads. And Amul in its ads said Chennai Sanju King. So he is their new talisman. So maybe he doesn't want to upset the apple cart, and that is why maybe he doesn't want to upset the winning combination also. He will take his time. I have written also he might delay his return to the playing field. So this is the update on Dhoni. Nothing has changed over the last game. Nothing has changed over the last game. That is, and one more update. I'll write a copy going ahead also. Chennai Super Kings management has thrown its weight behind their struggling captain, struggling in terms of runs. He has scored just 107 or 110 runs over the last 7 innings. Ruturaj Gaikwad, you all know he's a good player. Um, but the Chennai Super Kings, and there a rumor was doing the rounds that he might lose captaincy mid-season, and could be given to Sanju Samson, stuff like that. Those rumors were doing the rounds, but absolutely no merit in those rumors. He is here to stay. He will be here for the entire season. Ruturaj Gaikwad will be the captain for the entire season. And yesterday also Stephen Fleming spoke at the press conference saying that Ruturaj Gaikwad absolutely no concern, and a very important line he said, he is getting a lot of hate from the outside and he is getting a lot of support from the inside. So in Chennai, and it is his second full season as captain. Last season he picked up an injury and MS had to take over. So this is another update from CSK camp that CSK management has thrown its weight behind their captain Ruturaj Gaikwad, and there is no chance of a mid-season captaincy change.
I think that has been a hallmark of a successful franchisee like Chennai Super Kings, that they never make changes like that. Whenever even the results are not going well. I remember 2024 CSK missed the qualification just because of that game against RCB. RCB qualified. They all both teams are better than them today. Both teams are better than them today. But sir, as MS is not playing, it's not like team is consistently winning. Yeah, am I audible?
You have
Sound
muted
is
yourself, Vaibhav.
yes.
Am I
Sound is
audible now?
yeah.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. So it's not like the Chennai Super Kings are consistently winning. If you look at their campaign this season so far, 4 losses, 3 wins. They are not winning continuously. They are not getting on a run. So there is no winning momentum as such. Yes, you can say last win was very impressive. As we spoke about the 2 wins earlier, that came at home ground at Chepauk only, the venue where today they will play against GT. So 2 home wins and 1 away win. So it's not like that they have the new combination without MS Dhoni. This team is been doing really well. Obviously, there's still one gap in the middle order. Karthik Sharma smashed those 2 sixes against Mitchell Sander, but again he struck at a strike rate of 100 and around 100. So there is still one spot, and the way MS has been batting in the nets, what could be the reason? What do you think that he is holding himself back even when the team is struggling? It's not like CSK is in the top 3 or top 4 in the points table. It's still you are still lagging behind a lot of teams. So MS, what do you think? What is the sense behind MS keeping himself back and Karthik Sharma playing? It's not like the youngsters have performed exceedingly well. So do you think it makes sense for an experienced campaigner to sit out and that even when MS is not at the peak of his powers, he still can deliver the goods for his team?
Is it for me or
Yeah, 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 it's for you.
yeah, you didn't take my name? I didn't hear you taking my name. Yes, it must be running between the wickets. I guess that could be the one of the key reasons. Because obviously, if you want to play, then you have to be good at running between the wickets as well. It can't just be hitting. So I think that could be one of the key reasons. Yes, he can come in as an impact sub on those lines and suddenly hit three, four sixes somewhere low down the order. That is something that he has done in the past. But I think he just wants to be 100% fit, feel that he's 100% fit, and then only I think he will take the fields. Because one has to remember it's not 25 or 35, he's about 30, 44. So when you're 43, 44, even if you're one of the fittest cricketers going around, there would be problems like off strain, there could be hamstring problems. So all these soft tissue injuries definitely will come into the equation, and Dhoni is also going through that kind of a phase. So considering all that, I think it is right from his perspective that he's just playing a little bit safe, because he doesn't want to, I think, play and suddenly pick up another soft tissue injury, and that will, I mean, that I think he would be basically out of the season itself. Yes, I can understand the other point of view as well, that youngsters are not really doing well. I think Karthik still has, what can you see, he's still a work in progress based on whatever little I've seen. There are things that he can improve in his game, but yes, you have to still consider MS Dhoni is now 44, so he can't take those, what can you say, he can't take a gamble and suddenly play a match. So I think he's just playing a little bit safe.
Snehashi, do you think it's also because of Sanju Samson's presence that MS is holding himself back? He has that confidence that, okay, till last season, as I was speaking as well, like last year it was Urvil Patel, there was Vansh Bedi, but There was Sheikh Rashid as well, another wicket keeper batter. But uh, MS was the one who was leading, obviously, because Ruturaj Gaikwad was not there, so he had to step up. But this season, he has seen how Sanju Samson has taken a one kind. Obviously, he's not the captain or a appointed vice captain, but you can see he's a leader within the team. He's constantly having discussions with Ruturaj Gaikwad about the field placement, bowling changes, and he's controlling a lot of things behind the wickets. And as Shamik Da also mentioned that he is currently the team's first choice wicket keeper. Do you think that is also one reason that okay, MS knows he will hang up his boots whenever he wants to. So he's gradually passing the baton to Sanju Samson. Okay, now you will take this team forward, and I have to play whatever number of games I have to play. I will decide. But now, if I come in, obviously I will come in as a wicket keeper. As Michael Hussey also said during the Mumbai game, he told broadcasters that MS is keeping really well, and whenever he comes back, he's likely to. So he sort of indicated that if MS comes back, he comes back as a wicket keeper batter, not just an impact player. But that could change. So do you think it's also because of Sanju Samson that MS is also holding himself back?
Yeah, I think so because whatever we have seen about MS Dhoni over all these years, I think first of all he's a fantastic leader. There is no doubt about that, and I think this is a trait that we got that MS Dhoni is known for. He knows what is the best for the team, and he is always ready to do that for the the best interest of the team. And I think Shomikda also pointed out, and I also kind of agree to that. Maybe he has understood that in this stage, when finally the team has started to win few games, the momentum is on their way finally. I think in this scenario, when Sanju Samson has been the main key factor for them in these wins, right? The way he has led from the bat, with the bat at the top, and especially he is also an experienced player. He's not a new because the names that you mentioned earlier, the options that they had in the previous seasons, they were all inexperienced names, all youngsters, despite being a wicket keeper. But here Sanju Samson, a wicket keeper, a proper opening batter, and also an experienced member. And obviously, in the previous game also, I mentioned that in that post match that Sanju Samson, I think, was talking more than someone like Ruturaj Gaikwad with the players in terms of fielding, fielding status and everything. So I think as a leader also, I think MS Dhoni has understood that he has that bigger role, and that is why maybe I think as a proper leader, I think he has decided not to rush his inclusion in the playing 11. I think he knows that the team is clicking, the combination, and see, I think the combination of using both overseas spinners and also the batting unit finally clicking. Obviously, CSK fans and the management will be more than happy to see Ruturaj Gaikwad firing with the bat, but overall, ultimately, they are gaining some momentum. So I think that is why maybe MS Dhoni is not rushing himself, but in I think going forward we might see him action, but as a proper leader, I think again MS Dhoni is showing the best interest, again putting the best interest of the team ahead of himself.
And also, Vaibhav, you have to keep in mind it is not it is not a employer-employee relationship between CSK and MS. It is completely different. You cannot judge this particular case. It is completely different from the rest because you never know. Yes, we all know CSK retained him for 4 crore as an uncapped player, and BCCI changed the rule to ensure Dhoni can be retained. They changed the rule, and CSK took that opportunity to retain him as an uncapped player. So, and before that mega auction, Dhoni told the CSK management only if the this uncapped player rule is brought back and you can keep me as an uncapped player, only then retain me because I don't want you to spend around 12 crore or 18 crore or 14 crore, whatever it is for me, 4 crore. And we don't even know whether Dhoni has taken a penny from this franchise because Dhoni is like that. And the relationship between him and Mr. Srinivasan is sort of Mr. Srinivasan has been fatherly to him all along. Mr. Srinivasan has been fatherly to him. So it is not an employer-employee relationship. And by Dhoni's own admission, it is his franchise. 2 years ago, last year, in fact, at a promotional event, he said, if I'm on a wheelchair, they will drag me into the ground because this is my franchise. So this is something. Then Dhoni will never do anything that is detrimental to the side. Sanju Samson has been brought in to eventually succeed him. That is clear. But Sanju Samson in a new franchise needs that bedding in period. And this is his bedding in period. And under Dhoni's guidance, see, whoever, even if it is Virat Kohli, when you see a game between CSK and RCB, even someone like Virat Kohli goes to his captain. He still says MS is Mahibhai is my captain, and everybody goes to Dhoni's Gurukul, and it is a huge privilege for the youngsters, particularly, to share the dressing room and learn from MS Dhoni. At the same time, Father Time catches up with everyone. Father Time spares none. So along the way, sometime he might he might decide to hang up his boots, but he wants to ensure that when he does that, the team is ready. The team has a proper successor in place. The team is ready. So this is the thought process. What I can understand, because you cannot get in touch with Dhoni. Nobody can get in touch with Dhoni. I don't know whether apart from his family or Mr. Srinivasan, anyone can get in touch with Dhoni. Not even the selectors when he was the India captain. Several times it happened. The selectors called him, he didn't reply, missed calls. And some via Suresh Raina, the selection committees, the selectors used to communicate. Via Suresh Raina, they used to communicate that ask Dhoni to call us back. So it used to be the case. Dhoni is a one of a kind. You have to keep that in mind. But uh, in this game, I would like to see Urbil Patel playing instead of Kartik Sharma.
That is a lot of people have been asking about it. Even in the nets, if you look at the intra-sport matches visuals, Urvil Patel was striking the ball really well against spin, and last season also he was one of the standout. I remember that cameo that he played at the Eden Gardens, 10 ball, 30 odd something runs. And Urvil Patel, if you look at his record in domestic circuit as well, he has struck centuries in 28 balls, 29 balls, 32 balls. That has been the hallmark of Urvil Patel. The word he absolutely goes after the bowling right from the ball first. And you have a void in the top order. You can easily play a Urvil Patel. I don't know why. So Sarfaraz can easily bat at 5, which he was doing in the earlier games as well. So you can easily play at Urvil Patel at number 3, drop Sarfaraz at 5, or even 6. Brevis is like last time Brevis played against GT. He came in at number 6. He came in below Ravindra Jadeja. That was an afternoon game as well. And CSK handed GT a heavy loss, 81 run loss, I think, if I'm not wrong. But since you talked about that story of Rana, I remember one story during the 2015 World Cup when Ziva was born. MS didn't had his phone. Then through Sakshi Dhoni, through Suresh Rana, conveyed the message that Ziva is born. So because MS was so focused in that World Cup, and India did really well in that World Cup, and he was asked in the press conference that you are blessed with a newborn. And in the press conference, his response, that is still in my mind. What he said: "I am on national duty. Everything else can wait for me." That was the words of a captain, a leader. Virat Kohli was there. He could have taken a stand-in captain position for a few games, but that didn't happen. MS didn't leave the team for that tournament because you knew how important that tournament was for Team India. And Team India did really well. They were unbeaten until the semi-final, and when India lost the semi-final, obviously a lot of things didn't went in their way. Steve Smith scored a brilliant century. Aaron Finch played a brilliant knock. But after that match, I remember
And by way of these days, we see, I mean, in the middle of Test series, players going back home, taking paternity leave. Time has changed. What to do?
absolutely. I always cite this example of somebody like MS Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar. These were the players. Means when if you had an option of paternity leave at that time, he didn't take it just because he wanted to be with the team. He knew that it's his responsibility to be with the team in alien conditions in Australia, because in 2015 it was a very inexperienced, very young team. Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Mohit Sharma was the pace attack that India had. But India did well, and I remember after losing in Sydney, MS had tears in his eyes. His eyes turned red after losing that semi-final to Australia. So again, MS has always been selfless. When he gave up the Test captaincy, when he hung up his boots in Test cricket, we all know how it happened. He has always sidelined himself quietly without gaining any sort of spotlight. But let's put the captain in the spotlight. Shamik, the Ruturaj Gaikwad, again, like you said, hasn't been the best season, like it has been his worst season since 2020. The 2020 was the first season that he came into this, and even in 2020, the last three matches he played, he scored three consecutive half centuries. But this season so far, he hasn't been able to cross the 30 run mark. So big concern for Ruturaj Gaikwad. Doesn't matter how many times a Michael Hussey or Stephen Fleming said that there is no concern regarding Ruturaj Gaikwad form. Obviously, my question is: do you think Ruturaj Gaikwad, because there hasn't been a season till now where he has struggled in this manner since his debut season. It is his worst season till date. Do you think there is a pressure from outside that 2024 you couldn't qualify? Last season you got injured, your team didn't do well. This year you haven't started well. There is a Sanju Samson who's been, a lot of talk is going on that Sanju Samson could be the next CSK captain. Do you think Ruturaj Gaikwad is feeling all that pressure? Because if not, then why he's been struggling and struggling badly against spin? Spin is something Ruturaj is very good against, but this year he has struggled against spin as well.
It can happen. It can happen to any cricketer, and I still feel it is just matter of one big innings. Prithviraj Gaikwad, he's a quality player. Only a few months ago, he scored his first international 100 also. So Rituraj Gaikwad is a. It's just a matter of there is no pressure from inside. As I told you, Vaibhav, there is absolutely no pressure from inside. It is all outside noise, and I think he is matured enough to shut out that outside noise. So absolutely no pressure. Yes, leading a franchise like stepping into the shoes of MS Dhoni is always pressure. Leading a franchise like CSK is always pressure. But he has it in him. That's why he has been anointed. He is the chosen one. MS Dhoni handpicked him. And MS Dhoni usually doesn't make mistakes. This is only his second season, full season as captain. The first season, and you have to keep in mind the team is going through transition. Last season, a paradigm shift has happened in terms of approach. I mean, that old template has been built, a new template they have adopted. This is just a phase, basically, nothing else. This is just a phase. He's not scoring runs. Every player goes through a lean patch, and it is just the matter of one big innings. That is it. Nothing to read into it.
Gaikwad averages 50 against GT, has a very good record in afternoon games. So CSK fans will be hoping that he turns around things, and it starts from today, the afternoon game against GT. But Bharat sir, one player that has, because there has been so much talk about Ruturaj Gaikwad and his form because he's the captain. One player that has gone under the scanner, I believe, is Shivam Dube. Obviously, with MS not there and so much inexperience in the lower middle order, he has taken the role of the finisher. Team has trusted him with the role of finishing the games. But so far, Shivam Dube hasn't come good. And what do you think has been a concern? Is there a pattern that you have observed, or what exactly is going wrong with him? Because same player was winning matches for India, same player is not doing the trick for CSK.
But no, I don't think there is a pattern as such. Maybe it is just a case of little bit of mental fatigue that has come into the equation here because see, Shivam Dube also has been playing a lot of matches in the recent past. Even before that World Cup, he was playing in that Asia Cup. After that, he played in some T20Is in a couple of bilateral series. So somewhere mental fatigue might have come in because I think Shivam Dube is basically at the peak of his prowess when it comes to his batting. So I don't think there is any problem with his batting because there was a time when it felt as if he has a problem against pace, especially short pitch stuff. But he now goes, what can you say? He doesn't really go back and across, but he rocks back just enough in order to play the full stroke that I saw in the T20 World Cup. Then, when needed, he can take a single or two. I think that has been the biggest change in his batting against pace bowling. It's not just looking to hit everything for a six. Whenever a pace bowler tries to bowl short of length deliveries, then he will just pick up a single towards maybe mid wicket or on those lines and go to the non-striker's end. So I think he's improved his batting. So it can just be, I guess, mental fatigue. He has played a lot of games in the recent past. I think it is happening to not just Dube, but others as well. In the other teams played in the T20 World Cup, I see some of them are, I think, struggling. So I think that could be the case with someone like Shivam Dube because batting wise, I think he's had his best now. Just look at how he's playing against fast bowling. So I think it could be the mental side of things.
I think his game against Spain has definitely gone down. If you look at the numbers since last season itself. The numbers against pace is definitely his strike rate is up against pace bowling, but his numbers against spin, the spin basher Shivam Dube has gone missing since last season for CSK, and I think that has been a big worry for them.
Vaibhav,
Yes.
let Snehashish give his opinion on this, and after that I will come. I know a bit about what CSK has been trying to do with Shivam Dube.
Okay. Slashish, before you let's Shamika, you go first on Shivam Dube. I have different thing to ask from Slashish.
See, CSK management, team management, has given Shivam Dube a different role. They are trying to develop Shivam Dube as MS Dhoni's replacement in the middle order. Someone who will start, who will take the game deep, and then will play as a finisher. So it is a multi-layered role. Stephen Fleming spoke about this at the pre-match press conference yesterday. And Shivam Dube is one player who can fit into that role, who has the versatility to fit into that multi-layered role. It is not earlier what is to happen. He used to be an impact player who, against spinners, when their spinners are bowling, he used to come as an impact sub and go bang bang from the word go against the spinner. That was his role. This season, from this season onwards, absolutely a change. He has been given a completely different role. That you go, you be, you be Dhoni's successor in that middle order, because it's not about you starting the game in a gung ho style. You take, if if need be, take the game deep, and you have it in you to make up for a slow start with a back end charge, and that role he has been given. So it takes a little bit of time to adjust to a new role. That is the main thing. I mean, that is what I mean, the thought process, or rather, that is the understanding of the CSK team management, Michael Hussey, Stephen Fleming, everyone.
I think it will. He like last few season it has been the same case with Shivam Dube. He's been used as a floater. Last game against MIUC, he was promoted at number 4. He came after Sarfaraz just because he Mumbai Wankhede Stadium has been his home ground for many years. He has played all his cricket there. So obviously that was the thought process behind promoting the local boys in that last game. Obviously it didn't work out, but that was the thought process. But Snehashish, uh, am I correct when I say this that CSK are just 3 wickets away from winning the game? Just rattle the top order of GT, and then you are absolutely in the game, because no team's middle order has been has been performing poorly than GT. And if you look at CSK during the middle overs, they have taken a lot of wickets. They have somebody like Noor Ahmed who has taken the most wickets during 7 to 15 phase since last season. He has regained his form in the last 2 games. Obviously, Akil Hussain has good numbers against Shubman Gill and Josh Butler. So CSK are just 3 wickets away from a win. Is it right to say?
Yes, I think historically, if you see, how GT have performed, absolutely, I think most of the people will might say this thing only, that take those 3 wickets as early as possible and you can get the game in your hands. But I think one good job that GT did in the last game, I will say, including Jason Holder in the middle order. I think he contributed with the bat, scored few runs. I think at least he came good with the bat and he scored those important runs to took that total to a respectable one. And I think again, I think in this game also we might see again, the inclusion of Jason Holder. Obviously, he can score those important runs. He can contribute with the ball. Though against RCB, it didn't work. The only thing he did, to prevent Virat Kohli from 100. Otherwise, Virat Kohli was on his way to score 100. But yes, but overall, I think the inclusion of Jason Holder, I think at least a good move for the struggling middle order of GT, because whatever the names are there, the available options, and we're discussing for the last few games of GT, in every live show, that the names like Shahrukh Khan, Rahul Tewatia, I think they are not being able to repay the faith that has been shown by GT. I think it's not easy, when you are retaining this kind of players despite not their performances. I think it's a huge faith that the franchise have shown on them. But if you see Shahrukh Khan's numbers, if you see Rahul Tewatia's numbers, especially in last few years, it's very very underwhelming. So I think at least it's a good move that Jason Holder is getting game time, and today I think again he will get game time. But obviously the front three, the top three will be again the main key factor for GT. Sai Sudarshan, excellent coming up after 100. I think his wicket will be key. Shubman Gill has been showing consistency, and obviously George Butler started well. Maybe in the last few games hasn't looked that much good. But again, those three wickets will be key. And I think, as we mentioned, Akil Hossain with the new ball, Noor Ahmed in the middle over, and obviously Anshul Kamboj. He has been brilliant for CSK. So the whole bowling unit, and I think if Mukesh Chaudhary plays today, Mukesh Chaudhary was impressive. I think in the last game. So I think overall, all the bowlers are in good form for CSK, and I think in front of the home crowd, they know the importance of those three wickets, and I think they will go all out attack in the first six.
It will be interesting to see GT's combination today. They are playing two local homeboys who will be playing at their home venue. Sai Sudarshan is there. Washington Sundar playing at number 4. They understand these conditions. It will be interesting to see how many overs Washington Sundar gets, because it's an afternoon game. We haven't seen him bowl much. I think there's an update from Chepauk.
Shubman Gill has won the toss. Let's see what he has decided to.
Yeah.
Chose to bowl.
Bowl first. Yeah, last thing I think
chose to.
Lucknow. There was an afternoon game that GT played in Lucknow, and they chased in that game as well. Shubman Gill wanted to bowl, and I think
Let's see how the pitch plays. If it is a typical, over the last two seasons, Chepauk pitch has changed its nature. It is that vintage Chepauk pitch where Dhoni reveled in his spin choke. Batting first is a
But I
good
think
option.
in the last game against KKR, it sort of it had some signs of pitch of years back, that
If there is a little bit of turn, it is a little bit of grip. You have seen against MI what happened. If there is a little bit of turn, little bit, that spin choke will come into play.
Exactly. Against KKR, the same thing happened. Against KKR, if you look at Noor Ahmed, Akil Hossain, I think that was the first game of Akil Hossain of the season.
This
So,
Gujarat Titans team they have too many passengers, right?
too many passengers.
Too
They
many
carry way
passengers.
too many passengers. They on camera, their team management say we back the players, but then they don't send their players into the ground and send in the all-rounders instead. So you are not backing the specialist batters, you are sending the all-rounder instead and say we are backing our players. That's how it works. Any changes from GT?
Not yet. We are waiting for the update. We are
Okay,
waiting for
Arshad
the
is
team
coming
sheet.
back. Shubman Gill is saying Arshad is coming back. So Arshad Khan is back. Bowling all-rounder. Yes. So first, Arshad will be playing his first game this season.
Yes.
Okay,
I
that
think
is the
he's back for Manav Sutar.
Manav
Let's see.
Sutar on this pitch.
I think. I see. I don't think they will drop a Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad
I
Siraj, Kageshwar
think
Barat.
they should have dropped a Prasidh Krishna because he is a complete liability. Over the last two games, he has taken one wicket, leaked runs at 14.5 per over. He can't field. He is a liability in the field. If they should drop at the outset, they should drop Prasidh Krishna.
Purple cap holder to be dropped. He was a purple cap holder just 5 days ago.
I will definitely, because the team sheet out earlier, 5 minutes earlier, we could have had this conversation whether to have Prasidh Krishna or not. But now the team is out, so we cannot have. And if there is a case, we will have a discussion in a separate show, but not today. Today is not day. Okay, Ruturaj Gaikwad has said one change. Let's see. Are they bringing a Prashant Veer?
Why GT doesn't play someone like Shai Kishore?
Okay,
I think
Urvil
Shai
comes
Kishore is a very
in.
utility.
Urvil comes in.
I told you.
Urvil
I
comes
told
in.
you. I told you, na. Urvil Patel.
That was a hidden message by Shamikda, so he broke that thing first on our.
Not
show.
breaking. Sort of. It
Yeah,
was sort of
obviously,
expected.
hunches.
It was sort of
Yeah.
expected.
So I think
Yes.
Urvil comes in place of Karthik.
Yes. They have dropped Prasidh Krishna. They have Manav Sutar is there. They have dropped Prasidh Krishna.
So Prasidh Krishna could come as an impact player.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, no.
that
Okay,
could.
okay. They are bowling first.
Yeah.
Prasidh Krishna has been dropped.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Prasidh Krishna.
That's a
Prasidh
headline.
Krishna.
Hey,
That's a
take care.
headline. That's a headline. You have dropped your purple cap holder, the player who has taken most wickets during the middle phase for GT this season as well, you have dropped that player.
I think it is just a
Bold
case of
call.
confusion because he has been your best bowler over 2 seasons. On the basis of 1 or 2 games, you can't drop one of your main players. You should rather look at other options, especially in your batting lineup. I think that is where you have to look at dropping those players because it was Virat Kohli's greatness that I think ensured that Prasidh would give away runs in the last game because he was taking it on the rise more than bad bowling. So I think it's a case of confusion because you can't drop your highest wicket taker as someone who was a purple cap holder just 6 days ago. When a team is losing, it usually leads to confusion, and that's what I'm seeing it here.
I want to make this very clear. If GT loses, we know it's a curse. We know it's a curse. We know how GT has lost. So I'll not be surprised if GT loses today because Bharat sir has said that it will backfire. This move will backfire just because they have
I never
dropped
said
their
that.
one of the best bowlers.
I just said something that is common sense, right? You can't drop your
Obviously, yes.
highest wicket taker this season. Last year, purple cap holder, and he was the purple cap holder just 5 6 days ago.
I think just because Sanju Samson has got out to left armers a lot, Ruturaj Gaikwad has gone out to left armers
No, I
12
think
times
it's a
in
case of
2020.
they're basically thinking Arshad Khan can come in and hit those huge sixes somewhere down the order. So I think they want to basically, what can
Could
I say,
be.
add a little bit of buffer to their batting lineup. This is just a case of muddled thinking where you're confused and you're looking at something else when you should actually look at your batting lineup.
Okay, so I'll just read out the Chennai Super Kings playing 11. Sanju Samson, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Urvil Patel at 3, Deval Brevis, Shivam Dube, Karthik Sharma, Jimmy Horton, Akil Hussain, Noor Ahmad, Anshul Kamboj, Gurjapneet Singh. So this is the batting
Sarfaraz
first
dropped.
team.
Sarfaraz dropped.
Sarfaraz, yes, Sarfaraz, I cannot see Sarfaraz's name.
Sarfaraz. So Urvil Patel is coming in for Sarfaraz, right?
Sarfaraz, yes, yes.
Sarfaraz didn't help his cause by playing that shot at Wankhede.
That
He
was a
hit two.
needless shot and that was
No, no,
not
no. He
on.
hit two boundaries on a pitch that
Exactly.
where the ball was
That was
keeping low, gripping, and Mitchell Santner was bowling very slow, and that was the need of the hour on that pitch. He was bowling very slow. He was bowling very slow through the air. I cannot from praise box. I cannot say how many miles or kilometers per hour, but he was bowling pretty slow through the air. And after that across the line shot, that is one area of Sarfraz's game that needs improvement because sometimes he gets a little too carried away. He gets a bit overconfident, and that is when you stop. As soon as you get a little overconfident in this game, the game will bite you back. So I think this could be a fallout to the shot he played at Wankhede.
absolutely could be the case, but good thing is that Urvil Patel is getting a chance, long awaited, for him, and finally he gets a chance. So yeah, so GT also making one change, CSK also making one change. Now let's quickly shift our attention to the evening game as well. Let's discuss
But
something
Vaibhav,
about yeah.
before going to KKR game, just read out like you read out the CSK team sheet. Please
Okay,
read out the
for
GT team sheet.
GT, I'll do that. Sai Sudarshan, Shubman Gill, Josh Butler, Shahrukh Khan, Washington Sundar, Jason Holder, Rashid Khan, Arshad Khan, Kagiso Rawada, Mohammad Siraj, and Manav Suthar. I just hope Manav Suthar gets more overs in this game, at least completes his full quota of 4 overs, so that you will be able to see what he brings to the table. So now let's switch our attention to the evening game. Shamikda, Mathisha Pathirana is back. He bowled a lot of Yorkers to Rinku Singh, is what I am hearing in the nets as well. So Mathisha Pathirana fit, coming back. Whom he is replacing?
I think the four foreigners in this game would be Sunil Narine, Robman Powell, Mathisha Pathirana, and one more, Cameron Green. These would be the four foreigners for
So no
KKR.
team Seifert. Who will be your
No,
opening role?
no, 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 absolutely not. Because if Matisha Patirana, because Cam Green, Sunil Narine, and Matisha Patirana, these three players are playing, and Cameron Green and Robman Powell is playing. So this has to be the overseas combination. This four has to be the overseas combination.
Snehashish, if like obviously Matisha Pathirana will come back, but if that is the case, then obviously if you're dropping Tim Seifert, you will have to drop either Tim Seifert or a Roman Powell, and it looks like Tim Seifert would be dropped. If that is the case, then who will open with Ajinkya Rane? Will it be Angresh Raghuvanshi? Will it open with Cameron Green, or they will go back to the old ways and bring in a Sunil Narine at the top?
Sunil Narayan.
I think they should go with Sunil Nayan as an opener, along with either two options, either go with Cameron Green or Ajinkya Rahane. And other way, and whoever doesn't bat at the top, he will bat at number three. So I think that should be the case scenario. I think for me maybe Ajinkya Rahane and Sunil Nayan, Cameron Green at number three, maybe that works more. Or Ankush Raghuvanshi at number three or at number four, because Cameron Green cannot bat down the order less more than number three or number four. I think you have to use him within that. After that, using Cameron Green in a T20 format doesn't make any sense. So I think that should be, and absolutely, I absolutely agree to Shamita that if Matisha Pathirana is fit and available, absolutely she gets into the playing 11 along with Robman Powell. Obviously, if you at least he is scoring those important runs down the order, giving those finishes that KKR needs at least, and now KKR is coming into this game with a little bit of confidence that in pushing score those important runs. Anukul also contributed with those important runs in the last game, so a little bit more confidence. And at the top, then go with either Ajinkya Rahane or Cameron Green along with Sunil Nayan as an opening pair.
But sir, uh, time is running out for Rishabh Pant. Last season was a poor campaign for poor season for him as a captain and as a batter. This season again, his team is at the ninth position. When you look at the points table, runs have not come in. Overseas players are struggling. You don't know your combination yet. You don't know your bowling combination yet. A lot of concerns for Rishabh Pant, the captain. And if this season also doesn't go as per the plans, the future of Rishabh Pant, not the player, but future of Rishabh Pant could be under clouds.
Yeah, see, Rishabh Pant is someone who's really struggling. I think the opposition teams have also worked him out in T20 cricket. They're basically bowling from over the wicket and angling it away with set fields on the offside. I think that is what is going against him because he's losing the shape on his shots when he's trying to play it through the offside. If you look at how he was dismissed by Mohammad Siraj in the GT versus LSG game, if you look at how he was dismissed in the RCB versus LSG game. So it's basically there's a similar pattern. Every single bowler is bowling from over the wicket and angling it away, and Rishabh Pant is losing the shape on his shots against his wider angle from over the wicket. So I think he has to really work it out. Otherwise, I think in T20 cricket it is going to be a real struggle for him with a bat in hand. And if you're not going to lead from the front, then it will also affect your captaincy. So that is where I think the problem is for Rishabh Pant, because look at every single match. The plan is simple: bowl a wider line and outside off. And Rishabh Pant seems to have some limitations while playing shots to the offside, and every single time is losing the shape on his shots. So I think he has to work on his batting and for T20 cricket. And once he succeeds with the bat in hand, then it will definitely help his captaincy as well. Otherwise, I think he'll be thinking too much about his batting, and he will basically lose the plot. And maybe who knows, next season he might not be. Who knows, he might not be retained.
Shamik, the biggest concern for Rishabh Pant is obviously sorting his batting order because overseas batter has not been firing. Last match, Mitchell Marsh was the only bright spot for that batting lineup, scoring a half century in a losing cause. But Aiden Markram, Nicholas Pooran has been the weakest link of this batting lineup particularly, and still they have what is more surprising about LSGs, they are going only with 7 batters. Last game they used Himmat Singh as an impact player. Himmat Singh has not even delivered for Delhi in domestic cricket, but they are using Himmat Singh ahead of somebody like Matthew Bretsky, who was handpicked by Lance Klusner from Durban Super Giants, Lucknow Super Giants sister franchisee. And when you are having 3 overseas options, you have an option of using one more. Why are you not using Matthew Bretsky when your batting lineup is fragile?
Vaibhav, if you look at LSG, it's not about. It's not only about. Being not having a good season. The season has so far hasn't done the way they have planned. KKR also. These are the two franchises where the season hasn't quite done to the plan as yet. But if you look at LSG as the franchise of the team, I will not call the franchise because franchise is a big thing. It incorporates everything and not only cricket. But if you look at the team, you get a feeling that the entire thought process is a bit muddled. That is the thing. The entire thought process probably is a bit muddled in the sense. Look, they started off with Rishabh Pant as an opener, right? In the very next game, they changed their opening combination. So this chopping and changing, and it feels like they are always on the edge. They are not playing cricket. They are not playing their game in a very relaxed style. So I might be wrong, but this is the feeling you get watching from a distance. And this entire thought process, I'm not too sure that whether there is a clear thought process in the whole setup as far as their cricket is concerned. And obviously, the buck stops with the head coach. The buck stops with the head coach because he is responsible for these things. So they need to get their house in order as quickly as possible. They need to get their act together as quickly as possible, and hopefully they will turn a corner in this game. I would like to say the pitch similar to what it was at Ikana last year. The ball was going, the ball was darting around. It was brilliant watching Shami in action. So I hope it will. The tonight's pitch also will be something similar. It will have a lot for the fast bowlers.
Yes, Lucknow so far has produced the best wickets. I believe that sporting wickets 160, 170 has been the average total has been 156, 157 at Ekana Cricket Stadium. Last year it was 190. So this year it has gone down and it has seen the even contest which we have been discussing, even contest between bat and ball. But Snesh, quickly before we wrap up, changes Matthew Bretsky coming in for Himmat Singh and also Mayank Yadav. Will you give another game to Mayank Yadav, who leagued last game? He was the liability. He gave 50 plus runs on a wicket where there was a lot of help for the fast bowler. So will you bring in an Avish Khan in place of Mayank Yadav, or you will retain him? You will back him for this game as well.
See, I think generally, dropping a player just after one game is quite harsh. It should not happen. But when you have an informed player like Abish Khan in your side, then why are going for that kind of a change? Mayank Yadav playing a game after after a long time, long injury layoff, is was coming back. Yeah, I can understand maybe if there was an injury or there was a knock that Abish Khan faced in the previous game. That is why you give that player a rest. I can understand that that IPL is a long tournament. You need Abish Khan service. That is why you give the rest. But that was not the case. You generally dropped Abish Khan and tried a new combination, a new bowling combination, while putting someone like Mayank Yadav, who is coming back after a long injury layoff. And it didn't help them. In that match, when we discussed in the post match, he was the clear difference. Every bowlers were economical, took wickets in that wicket where the wickets were very supportive of the bowlers. But he, considered 56 runs in 4 overs without a single wicket. So let's see. With LSG management, it's very tough to predict what they will come up. They can stick with Mayank Yadav for at least one more game, or maybe they will go for the instant end, because as you mentioned, for either team, be it LSG or KKR, it's a do or die clash. A loss here and the tournament is done and dusted. Virtually, it's done and dusted. So I think that is why let's see what the management will think, the LSG management, and Matthew Britsky, obviously the entire experience and the way he plays the spinners, well, more than the pacers, I will say. I think he's a very good player. So again, the decision of using the impact player has not been that good throughout the campaign. And also, I want to take one name. I think Ashin Kulkarni. Why are not using someone like Ashin Kulkarni when you have such a young talent? He's a way, he can bat at the top, or he can bat in the middle order also, and he can chip in with the ball also. The all-round ability, and he got few chances. I think last year maybe, I think one or two chances, but they didn't continue with him. So I'm very surprised to have such a young talent, at your side, but not utilizing him. So I think overall the management has been a messy one. So let's see how today's game goes for both of the teams, both agency and KK.
I think I think the only thing that goes against Arshin Kulkarni's selection right now is he's been batting as an opener with Prithvi Shaw for Maharashtra, the team that Ruturaj Gaikwad leads. I think that is the only thing, because at the top they have no space to bring in another.
Yeah.
What they need is a middle order batter. That's why they trusted a Himmat Singh. Before that, Abdul Samad was used. But now I think it's time. I believe it's time to unleash Matthew Bretsky, at least.
Yes.
Send him and see what he brings. But Shamik, the quick predictions for both games.
CSK and LSG.
CSK and LSG for Shamik. The Snehashish, KKR,
GT and KKR.
GT and KKR. So you both guys are yesterday you guys were same on the same page when it came to the predictions. Today two poles apart. Let's see
Yes,
whose
and
predictions goes right.
yesterday when
But Snehashi,
DC scored
but
those
Snehashi,
runs, I thought we were
but
wrong.
Sne, but Snehashi, look, Vaibhav is taking that easy escape route and going
Yes.
away without
No, no,
giving his
no.
prediction.
Vaibhav, go for it.
CSK for sure, and I think it will be KKR today. CSK and
Nice, good,
KKR. So
good,
I am doing a
good
mix
choice.
of both. I am doing a mix of both. Okay. So on that note, we will end our show and we'll be back after both game ends. So make sure you join us then. Thank you, Shamikda. Thank you, Snehaji, for being.